This is why we don't have guests. This is literally why we don't have guests. Okay, bye, Miranda.
This isn't therapy. This is not therapy. This is not therapy. This is not therapy. This isn't therapy.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hi, and welcome back to another fun,
flirty,
fabulous
episode
of This Isn't Therapy. The podcast about all the stuff people are talking to their therapists about.
That's right.
My name is Jake Ernst, and I am a therapist.
Ooh.
Who are you?
My name is Simon Palick, and I am not a therapist. However, together, Jakey and I, each week on this podcast, we put our grubby little paws on, we peel back the therapy curtain, we reach into that therapy room, we pull out a theme, a question, a factoid, something that is floating around in the culture, and then we bring it to the pod on this couch and just have a casual Kelly couch conversation about it. Why?
Well, it's because therapy themes are everywhere you look.
That's right.
We say that every single week.
Honestly, we do.
Yes,
honestly.
we do.
Speaking of speaking,
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Hi. And guess what's coming up?
What?
It's my birthday soon.
Hee ha ha hoo hoo ha.
Honestly, every year is a new year, but I'm happy to be here.
How queer.
Thank you. What do we have going on today? Where are we visiting? What therapy themes are we pulling out?
Oh, we have
Today,
two that I'm interested to see how we're going to thread the needle at the end. But we're going to be talking about goal setting. So in the spirit of resolutions, new year, new me, all of that fun stuff. And then we're also going to be talking about something called disaster capitalism, which
We have our
I don't know how
cookies
these
cut
are
out
going to
for us.
come together.
Yeah.
But somehow, somewhere, they will. I have faith.
I can't wait to see how the crumble cookies.
Me too.
I'm just so waiting.
Because that's
I'm
how it
so
goes.
excited.
Okay, so shall we get into it?
Let's do it. Okay, 3, 2, 1.
1.
And we're back.
Ooh, we're back.
The
Okay.
most back we've ever been, in fact.
Backpack.
Hello, and welcome to 2026, where
That's crazy.
where times are still fun.
That's
aren't,
crazy.
Aren't they still fun?
That's crazy. Life is crazy. World's crazy. Okay, so for today, for our first segment, we are going to be talking about goal setting and resolution, setting goals, all that fun stuff.
Tell us about the source material.
It's a lovely listener story.
I am so excited.
I love when you thank you, lovely listeners. If you're listening to this podcast, you can't see that I'm actually pointing at the camera, looking down the barrel and saying, thank you, lovely listeners, for submitting. It's so nice. We love hearing from you.
Yeah.
So this lovely listener submitted a story to us that's kind of in the theme of resolutions and
Good.
goal setting. So we're going to have that conversation via the lovely listener story.
Let's hear it.
So it goes like this. I set a resolution this year and I already bombed it. Oh, the stress of trying to meet the goal was just too high. My goal was too lofty and I didn't actually know what I needed to do in order to achieve it. I always set these lofty goals, but never seem to be able to follow through on them. Maybe I'm broken, but I just can't seem to do it year after year. And I'm starting to think that resolutions are just not for me. First impressions, what do you think?
You're not broken. You just had a hard day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we've talked about it here before. The thing that comes to mind is that mood follows action formula. That sometimes our mood,
Made.
sometimes our mood
Made.
changes, right? Like how we take action, right? And so like actions, of course, in this situation are about goals and achieving them. And so sometimes it's about not having the right goal. And sometimes it's just that like it was an off day. So the mood just kind of got in the way.
Yeah.
And so give yourself permission, lovely listener, that if your mood got in the way,
Yeah.
sometimes we get stuck in the feeling and stuck in the mood and it's hard to get out of there.
Listen, mood is like underwear, right?
It's just
they
like
should
underwear.
be changed every single day. They should change every day.
I honestly have been saying that for a while.
Yeah.
But it didn't resonate until I heard
Until
it
I
here.
said those words back
Until
to
I
you.
heard it here now.
You know what?
Yeah.
All I did was hold up a mirror and set it back to you, you know? What are you looking at?
You.
Why?
Why?
Why? Because
There was a hole in the therapy curtain behind you that I just had to fill.
is it fixed?
No, it's like
Okay.
it's peeking out, honey. It is. I feel like a goblin's gonna come through there in just a second or something.
You're not allowed to supposed to see this.
Yeah,
no one
this
is supposed to see behind
guys.
it.
This is set dressing.
What are you talking about?
Set dressing.
There's nothing behind the curtain.
Exactly.
Is it gone? Is the therapy curtain closed?
Oh, I'm so glad we sorted that out.
Phew.
There was a hole in the therapy curtain, and
Yeah.
this is a bad start to the year.
To the year. You know what, Grant? Keep all of that in.
Keep it in.
The lovely listeners need to know how vulnerable and brave we are.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We don't edit our podcast.
How fully on display we are.
Yeah. We're like bare and lying naked on the floor.
We're live and in color.
Okay, wait. Let's go back to resolutions
well,
and this lovely
let's
listener
pay
story.
attention to the lovely. listener.
Let's get back on track.
Yeah.
Can you kind of talk about like goal setting and maybe it's like healthy habits? Like what is sort of like an approach one could have in order to set themselves up for success?
Before we do, can we
Why?
give the lovely listener a name? I think it's Miranda.
You think it's a Miranda?
I just want to talk to someone. I'm kind of like starved.
Then let's make it Miranda.
I'm starved for someone else to be here.
Okay, Miranda. Please welcome to the stage, Miranda.
Okay, Miranda, everybody, come on out.
Thank you. Do you want to sit here?
Okay, Miranda, yeah, sit
here.
sit by Sister
Oh,
Simon.
Here, I'll put a pillow here
Perfect.
for you.
Okay, so
Okay.
thank you for asking.
Thank you, Miranda.
Thank you, Miranda, for
being here.
coming.
Yeah.
I
How was the drive?
I've been asked to talk about your goal setting and your habits
Yeah.
and maybe your success at accomplishing them. And I know that we are a product of the skills and habits we practice the most. And so
What does that mean?
sometimes we have a habit of practicing the wrong skills. And so because we want to be practicing skills that'll like align us with a solid sense of self or like someone who's like connected to other people and a passion and maybe like a goal that we're driving towards, sometimes what can get in the way is if we're practicing the wrong skill sets. So an example here is perfectionism. Perfectionism is a skill set that we practice over and over and over again and try to get right. But perfectionism is one of those skill sets that is unattainable and incomplete. Like there's no arrival there. So we'll never get there. So it's just not as effective as a skill set to be practicing as other skill sets. So maybe something like giving yourself grace alongside productivity or giving yourself some a break when you feel like you have to hustle and grind all the time.
Okay, so in the context of this lovely Miranda story,
Yeah.
where she's talking about her goal setting and
Yeah.
how she's always bombing them.
And she's so hard on herself.
But maybe so maybe her expectations of like, oh, I need to achieve this goal perfectly and in all the right ways. I need to cross all the T's and dot all the I's by this date at this
Yeah.
time. And because I didn't achieve that, I bombed it.
Yeah, and people think that like, you know, if I'm not effectively achieving my goals, then I'm worthless or that I am incompetent or that I'm a failure.
Yeah.
But that isn't inherently true just because it didn't go the way you thought it did or the
Right.
way you wanted it to, right? There are certainly many other ways of telling yourself a similarly true story so that you can still be honest about what happened, but not be so harsh and critical about the failure or the shortcoming. And so maybe a healthier way, Miranda, to speak to yourself might be with some self-compassion, which is to say the way that you would speak to like a dog learning a new trick or like a baby learning how to walk, you would say, okay, you tried it and that is a success. And now you're going to get back up and do it again because I believe in you and you can do this. Or maybe something like, ooh, that like hurt a lot, right? When you fell to the ground and you felt like you failed. So you name the emotion, you notice it, and then you create next steps and you say, okay, so here's how we're going to get back up and here's what I'm going to do next. Sometimes what happens with goal setting, especially like at the beginning of a year, is we collapse into the failure and then we take all of that as evidence for why we suck and why we shouldn't get right back to it.
Yeah. Especially where I can maybe hear like you bombed, but maybe, you know, like whatever your goal is, we don't know what it is. Miranda, do you want to share it? She's shaking her head. She says no.
She says no.
She says no. But this is fine. That's your prerogative.
Yeah, it's all good, girl.
Listen, that's fine. I don't need to know what's in your drawer. That's fine.
And at the
But-
same time, if she thinks she bombed, then like, okay, you bombed.
And now keep going. But I can see that's also where you were talking about the perfectionist piece. It's like we got to get it right away on the first try, no matter what. But I wonder if like a goal maybe is change. Change is going to be different than what is currently happening. You're going to mess up, right?
Yeah.
They're not going to get it perfect on the first go. You know?
And thank goodness. I
Like
think,
how many times do you put on rollerblades and you just like get it, you know?
I
Like every day.
yeah, like when you are not doing well the first time,
You're
I
so
think,
funny.
What did I miss? What did I miss?
Nothing. I was just
Uh-oh,
throwing
what did-
nonsense at you and you were like,
Oh no,
yeah,
what
for
did I
sure.
what did I miss?
I just love when you do that.
Did you say it funny?
I wasn't being funny. I was just being stupid. And you were
Oh,
just
okay.
like, I love when you apply like super
like, okay.
real like meaning to something,
Yeah.
but I'm just being stupid. And you're just like, no, that's true.
Yeah, no,
like,
exactly.
It actually makes me think of this therapy modality. And I'm just talking about like diapers,
Yeah. Well, we are on a podcast, so I do have to
Yeah.
kind of like
which is funny.
kind of thread the needle.
Some one of us has
somehow.
to.
Somehow.
1,000 apologies and thank God you're here.
Honestly, hop in the water if you're going to be a silly little goose.
Yeah, maybe that's my goal for this year is to finally hop into the pond. Just embrace it, man.
So back to Miranda.
Yeah, she's right here.
Miranda, I the first thing that jumps out for me is the compassion piece, that maybe with a different thinking approach, you might also experience a different outcome. But that is not to say that mindset is everything, and thoughts don't always come so easy or generously for all of us. And so inserting or introducing new thoughts doesn't always work. And so what can Miranda do differently?
Yeah.
Well, I think maybe reevaluating the goal to figure out, like, was this realistic and was this actually achievable? That might be another good place to start, just to figure out, is this something that I am ready for, I'm capable of, am I set up to succeed, or was failure sort of in the cards? And so what I wanted to also maybe talk about here was how sometimes we, maybe intentionally, but not intentionally always, we choose goals that sometimes are a bit too big for the boots that we're in, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
We may be participating in our own self-sabotage by doing so,
Right.
to sort of prove to ourselves, see, I can't do it. See, I am a failure. And so if we're constantly sort of on the lookout for this storyline to be proven, we might also sign up for goals or habits or routines that we're not ready for,
Yeah.
or we would be better off starting a bit smaller. And so I would say start small, especially if the goal is like really extreme or big. Small, slow, steady changes over time, I think will also get you there at a pace that is a bit more compassionate.
Okay. So the perfectionist piece, you're not going to get there right away,
Yep.
and you're going to make mistakes.
Yep.
And don't be too hard on yourself when you do.
Yep.
You fall down, get back up.
Check.
Keep going. Small little mini goals help us reach to the big goal. But if that big goal feels too extreme or too daunting, you're setting yourself up for failure. Break it down. Small.
Update the goal.
Update the goal. Give me a third thing, just because I like threes.
Love it. Okay.
Give me one more.
Yeah. And so I think number one, we also have to figure out, like, what pace am I coming into this goal setting or achievement with? Sometimes we like bulldoze our way in there, and then we're like, okay, I'm hitting the ground running.
Yeah.
It's January 1st and I'm going to go for it.
Yeah, I'm going for that 90-pound weight.
And that urgency
Yeah.
might also be participating in your downfall. And so I think finding the pace that is best for you, so finding a pace that works for you,
Yeah.
is going to be best. So it may not be, I'm going to the gym every day this week. It might be, I'm going to start doing 2 days a week for 3 weeks, and then I'm going to see how that feels.
Yeah, that's fair. Because if you go for that 90-pound weight right away, you're not going to be able to lift it. Or if you do, you're going to hurt yourself.
Yeah, the pace may be the issue.
Yeah.
And so I see this often, actually, that pacing is a big part of this conversation around habits, routines, goal settings, because, we could be kinder to ourselves, or we could even turn it into like little micro skills, little smaller habits, all we want. But if, again, our expectations are of urgency, and not one of, I have an appropriate pace for me that is realistic and, smart for myself, then that can also just really contribute to the failure itself.
Okay. So our third and final thing is check the pace. Maybe go slower at the start.
Yes. Lastly, I think maybe to thread all those together.
Yeah. So a secret fourth thing.
We also have to remind ourselves, my goodness, that we are not a constant work in progress. You don't always have to be working on yourself. You don't always have to be self-optimizing or self-improving. You're not a nonstop self-improvement project. You don't always have to be digging and like upheaving all of this stuff that we perceive that is going on. Sometimes it is also better and healthier to take stock of what's good and to let that be good enough, and to say, where I'm at right now is enough, and that's okay. And yes, there are improvements that I want to make, but I don't need to either rush into it or over try to perfect this thing to be productive. We don't have to sacrifice our well-being at the altar of perfectionism and urgency and rushing and improving, because then what? Like, there's no arrival anyway. It's a constant daily shift that we make, right? To achieve the goals we want or establish the habits and routines that will work good for us. And so it's a daily act over time. And so the way that I currently approach it is that, like, every decision I make when it comes to my health and well-being is a vote in the direction of the life that I would be okay with living. And so if all those habits, all those small decisions over time, I'm just casting votes into, like, the direction of the life that I want to live. And so listen, if I'm eating the sugar, then I'm like, okay, I understand where I'm casting that vote. And I'm making that not from a place of shame. I'm not making the decision and then, beating myself up after it. I'm making that decision from a place of choosing it and saying, this is what I'm doing. And so I make peace with the decision, and that's that. And the last thing I guess I'll say, just because I'm on a rant right now.
Oh my God, number 5.
Number 17 is...
Listen, we only asked for 3, but you're giving us 5. These are all gold, by the way. Keep going.
I just think because we're here, it just makes sense to kind of also add this, is that you don't have to hate yourself into changing yourself.
You don't have to hate yourself into changing yourself.
Yeah.
I do that enough for you.
Yeah.
I hate you enough,
Thank
Jake.
you. Miranda's also here too. So Miranda, I'm sorry you have to hear all this.
I'm so sorry. You know what? Cover your ears for
Actually,
a
you know
second.
what?
Hold on.
Yeah.
The girls need to talk for a second.
Yeah.
I need you to do this.
Could I talk to you back here for a second?
Yeah, hold on a second.
Can you give us a moment, Miranda?
Yeah,
Thank you.
so much.
And maybe just a sentence is you don't have to hate yourself. I think that many of us feel as though we have to change because we don't like certain parts of ourselves, or we are in contempt and hatred for certain parts of ourselves that maybe aren't socially acceptable, or maybe aren't, things we don't like about ourselves. And so then we build this sort of like hate model into our self-improvement that is so counterproductive and so not the work. And so if you're hating yourself while you're doing the behavior change or the goal setting or like setting your new routine, you're not doing it, babe. If you're hating yourself in that process, that isn't the real work. And so you don't have to hate yourself into changing yourself.
Right.
I think that once you find the lifestyle that fits and the habits that make sense and the routines that are going to just like align for you, you'll find them. You'll find the lifestyle that works for you. But you don't have to hate yourself in the process, because that's, again, not the work. You don't add more stress into a process that is supposed to come with some stress, but not a lot of it.
Miranda, uncover your ears. Yeah, do this.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
I'm so glad that.
So what did you think about all that?
We're so glad
crying.
We're so glad that we could have
gosh,
you
she's
here
crying.
today. Unfortunately, Miranda, you do have to go because the next segment won't
Yeah, we do
involve
have to
you.
start.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, it's a little awkward. No. We'll valet your parking. We'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Bye.
Bye,
Bye,
Miranda. Okay, push.
Wow, that's so weird. This is why we don't have guests.
out.
This is literally why we don't have guests. Okay. Bye, Miranda.
Woo-wee.
What a ride.
Thank you, Miranda.
Thank you, Miranda.
Yeah, we just as we're here, thank you for submitting to all who did.
Yeah.
Lovely listeners, you're the real ones. We're
Yeah.
really proud and happy that like you trust us with your stuff.
Yeah, we love it. Thank you.
So now we're going to do a bit of a dark shift. This is segment 2 where we're going to be talking about disaster capitalism. Maybe we
God.
can put a sparkle over that when I say that. Disaster capitalism.
Yeah, like imagination.
Yeah, exactly. Only because
Only
I
because.
feel like it needs some sparkly positivity and joy around it.
Because it's inherently
Because it's
terrible.
incredibly dark. Yeah.
Okay, so tell me about it. What is it?
Essentially, this is the practice where companies and corporations are exploiting the labor of people, and they are also, in a lot of ways, making a killing off of chaos.
Name them.
So we're obviously just past.
Let's make that list.
Well, we're obviously just past the holiday season,
yeah.
and it's not lost on me that the top 4 richest men in the U.S. and abroad are the owners of these really big corporations, and they themselves are billionaires. And I think that any time that someone becomes a billionaire, there's a snail trail behind them of disaster. And this is what this is really about, that it sort of is a question of, we can have capitalist values economically as a society, because that's what we operate under right now. But what is the cost of doing so? And so disaster capitalism is a concept by Naomi Klein. And
Love her work.
love her work.
I actually ran into her the other day.
I knew that.
It was
you told me
so
that.
weird. I know. I wasn't planning on it.
Does
but
she still have the black hair?
She does. She does. And it was
Damn.
so amazing because we just came
Yeah.
out of a Pilates class. Yeah, I know. I wasn't expecting it. Like I was all sweaty and I was like, oh, I can't wait to go home. I like grabbed my infinity scarf and I just like wrapped it around me. And then there she was.
She was in the class.
It was so
Wait, was she teaching it?
No.
Oh, yeah.
I think she was just coming to pay her tab.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of disaster capitalism,
Yeah. Anyways, continue.
she's consuming. I see that she's okay.
Yeah.
In any case, off what's it called? Off of the cuff? No, off of the rails.
I'm just going to leave you there.
Off of the rails of the
I'm just going to leave you hanging.
off of the something of the holiday
yeah.
season.
Yeah.
We're here.
Off the
Details.
coming out of.
Coming out of thank you,
Yeah.
thank you, Chat GPT. coming out of the holiday season.
All
there-
together now.
There, of course, is this other big question around this concept around consumerism. So, like, when we're like just consuming a bunch of stuff, it's this bigger question around like, okay, well, how much is too much?
Yeah.
And is consumerism really the future that we want to kind of go into? The reason why I think this is relevant here and why we're talking about it on a podcast about therapy is that there is a lot of people who are coming to therapy, especially in the last few years, who are bringing in the political stuff. There are many different thoughts about whether or not therapy is political, whether there's room for that discussion in therapy. Of course, maybe more feminist theorists and practitioners would say that, of course, the world that we live in impacts our lives and impacts the brains that we have and the bodies we live in. And so that it makes sense that we would be having some symptoms while surviving under capitalism. And so I was thinking about this because my social work professor, I remember in the early days of social work school, she was talking about these types of concepts around capitalism. And she said, well, like and I just thought this was like so plain English. Like she had this like thick Russian accent, this like little like Velma Bob that was so fierce.
Yeah.
And her name's Natalia. Hi, Natalia.
Yeah.
And so she said, well, yes, like all social work is repairing the effects and the harms created by capitalism. That is the only work that we do.
Wow.
Because again, as social workers, like it's more environmental, it's more systemic.
Yeah.
Traditionally than is like psychology or psychiatry, right? And so in that way, like the lens through which we view the world is through the sense that like we're the cleanup crew for capitalism. And I just thought, and again, this was more than 10 years ago now, but I'm looking at this today being like, oh my gosh, she was right.
Yeah.
She was so right.
So what are some examples of things that people are coming to you at and you're like, well, ding, 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 that's the effects of capitalism. Like how does it actually show up?
Well, I mean, think about just like any political issue that like has raised like just a lot of really big questions about the fate of humanity or whether or not people are going to be unwell or whether they're healthy or whether they're surviving, whether they're living or not. I think all those like political questions do come in under that same roof. But in a lot of ways, disaster capitalism is not just about earning money. It's about earning money without care for the cost. And so I think that we're now shifting towards this new culture where the cost is quite significant. And it's not just like at the mental health level and the stress level. It's like at like a very serious and dire level at the moment that we just, the snail trail behind this stuff is just so disastrous, like that many generations for future will have to spend decades upon decades cleaning up.
Right.
Like we're talking about like a complete overhaul of systems, a complete overhaul of just the way that we traditionally knew it. Right. And so in a lot of ways, like that means democracy like is under direct attack. Like we just aren't in a state that we are familiar with. Like this is just completely new territory. And so again, we shouldn't be shocked that like people are coming into therapy talking about the distress of like living alive today. Now, back to your question. I think we're also
This is a really cheery, cheery fun topic.
Well, because I think what we need to name, and that's the reason why I wanted to talk about this, is I wanted to name like, how does that affect us? Yes, it increases our stress responses, but I do think it also creates a lot of scarcity within each of us, which is a fear response. So a lot of us are getting more scared and fearful. And that scarcity is what drives people apart. It polarizes people and it makes us act in ways that we typically wouldn't if we were feeling safe and at ease. And so fear, we are seeing, is being used as a tactic. We're also seeing anger and aggression being used as a tactic. Excuse me. And I think in that way, like when it's being used too much, that can also create that level of polarization, right? That we are so detached from, while at the same time so desensitized to it. And that's, I think, what's playing out here through disaster capitalism, is we're so desensitized to something that should startle us or should concern us. But so many of us are so asleep and so numb to the effects of it. And so then that's where people can be exploited for profit.
So is the solution here maybe more people need to wake up? Or what is it?
I don't know. I really,
in the spirit of trying to
yeah,
give our lovely listeners something to
Yeah.
hold on to, take away, to chew on, and say like, I'm gonna go this, a call to action.
the reason why I think it's good that we had the conversation about social change a few weeks ago is because that was where we were talking about roles and solutions before we were talking about the problem. And now in this episode, we're talking more about the problem, because I think problem identification can give people new language to figure out, okay, what is my role? What should I do in that scenario? Like we're talking about, like some people are checked out to the level that they don't know what to do. And so they feel so overwhelmed sort of by it all. But I think a lot of this will require us to be forward thinking and to say, how are we going to organize, or how are we going to change so that we don't let this get us down? But, you know, I think this is pretty like sad and extreme, but it's just kind of weird that like all of us are so attached to this like celebrity culture of it all, where essentially like we're supporting all these millionaires who are being paid by billionaires.
But what are we supposed to do when there's no real other option? Oh, is there an option, right? Like, iPhones, for example. Like, well, we all like seemingly need a phone now, right? So it's like, but my options to buy a phone from someone, like it's the money that I spend on this phone is gonna go into the pockets of some billionaire.
Yes. Okay.
So what do I do?
Okay, exactly. I love that you're asking these questions, because this is the point that I wanted to end on, which is that, and this is actually why I do a lot of the work that I do, is that anytime that we are lining the pockets of the billionaires at the cost of our own mental health, emotional health, social health, attentional well-being, we need to be aware of that we're being tricked, right? That we are lining the pockets of these people who are already very wealthy. And so I think that that's part of why I do a lot of the education that I do. But you're saying, well, I need this phone. But we don't need to be on it as much as we think we do. And so I do think that not participating on places like TikTok or Facebook or Instagram, where those ad dollars for our eyeballs being there are just giving them a lot more money. Right. And so like if we're not paying for the product, then we are the product. And so we're giving them more money by being there. And so we're treating it as a necessity, but it's actually not necessary.
Okay, so what do we do? Let's use us, for example, because obviously we have a presence online and we use these platforms. So for the sake of us, what should we do then? Right? Because you and I, little old Simon and Jakey, right? Like we're trying to spread the good word here. But in order to do that, it feels as though we need to be on these places and do these things. So what is the solution here? Don't participate, or still participate in these spaces, but can you interact with it in a way that maybe is changing it from the inside? Is that even possible, or am I just trying to justify something that is a lot more clean cut, which is do this, don't do this.
I don't think it's as simple as don't do this, don't do this.
Okay, thank God.
And I also don't think it's as simple as personalizing and individualizing all these problems, right? Like, yes, we all have a role to play in that change ecosystem as we talked about, but I collective change needs to happen. Like legislative big shifts and changes need to happen by the big dogs, and we are the little guys. That we can make small moves like stop. We can recycle, but recycling isn't going to prevent climate change.
Yeah.
Like we need very important policy and like big government stuff that needs to come in to support us doing the small stuff. And so I don't think it's as simple as doing the little things. We need to do the big things too. But when it comes to little things, it means like, yeah, I'm going to spend less time on Instagram scrolling or on TikTok scrolling because I'm not going to be paying someone for my attention. It doesn't make sense to me. Like that's a privilege to be able to get access to my attention and sell me things. And I'm setting that boundary and saying, that's not for me. No, thank you. And so that's personally how I push back against it. But people can do it in their own ways, in their different ways. And I think knowing that these things are designed to be addictive is important.
I can see the very unique thing. Like we all swim in the waters of capitalism. We are currently in a system that is capitalism. We can't not participate in it because we need to survive in this world.
Yeah.
We need to survive immediately till Tuesday, right?
Only till Tuesday.
Only till Tuesday, and then I don't know. Up to then, it's up to the
thriving beyond there, baby.
it's up to the Greek gods at that point.
Yeah.
Right. Athena, take what you will after that. But like,
wait, what does Athena do again?
Wisdom.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Athena's
it's over to Athena. Thank you.
She's wisdom.
Thank you.
Aries is war.
Oh.
I don't know why I'm telling you this.
What
I
about
think it's
what about Hades?
Underworld. He's the god of the underworld.
Whoa. Okay.
Hermes is the messenger god.
Whoa.
Is Athena the goddess of wisdom?
You know who knows a lot about this?
What? Not
Brett.
me.
Brett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Greeks?
Yes.
The Greek gods?
Yes.
Oh, Brett, if you're listening,
Yeah.
shout out to Miranda's and shout out to Brett's.
Yes.
Any of them that are out there.
Knows a lot about Greek mythology.
Okay, so he can fact check me.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll get her to listen to it.
Yeah.
And so anyway, back to the point.
Yeah.
And as a final wrap up, maybe as we thread the needle.
Yeah.
Let's do that. I think
Are you going to do it today? Do you have a needle?
I think
in
you
it?
should do it. Goals and disaster capitalism. Go.
I think that sometimes threading the needle, lovely listener kind of came in saying, I bombed it already. And I question if whether or not you bombed it due to your own skills and abilities or because of capitalism and this idea that we need to achieve things at a rate, we need to consume things at a rate that is not realistic. Or was that goal tied to something that required you to, I don't know, purchase something or buy something or participate in that, like, I don't know, capitalism is like a hamster wheel, right? Like you're not, I don't think you're designed to like buy something and then you're done, right? You're meant to remain needed and attached to something. So I wonder, in the theme of like goals and stuff, is like, is your goal like actually tied to something like some inner work? Or did it have like did you sniff around and you're kind of like, oh, hold on a second, this kind of vaguely is something attached to something that I need to buy in order to better myself?
I only have one thing to say to that.
Was that a good thread? Yes,
You ate that.
Yeah.
You 5, 6, 7 ate that.
Okay, I love that.
What is 4 plus 4, my guy?
Oh, it's
8. You ate that up, sister. Listen, that was an expert, precise, precision level.
Okay, so I can put down the needle on the thread.
No, we're gonna need it. I actually ripped a hole in my. Yeah.
Let's go again. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna wrap this up. Thank you for that moment of levity at the end.
Yeah.
and
You pulled that up so quickly.
and we are going to resurface. We're gonna come back
Yeah.
for our final segment.
Okay, let's go.
BRB.
That's my girl. I wonder if we're gonna get flagged. Probably. Whatever.
That's my
Hey, listen,
girl.
if you found this episode, good job because the algorithm buried it.
Yeah, seriously.
Due to
It
copyright infringement.
It said no Fifth Harmony here on the pod.
Absolutely not. Well, at the end of every single episode of
You
this
didn't pay for that.
podcast, we like to resurface and bring back a little bit of levity because sometimes we go splunking into the therapy room, right? We go a little too deep and we want to make sure that everyone leaves feeling like, yes. So, what do we like to do, Jake?
Like a nice little deep breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
We like to...
A deep breath of fresh air.
Yes, exactly. We like to tackle your questions. You don't always have to take all the questions that you have to a therapist, right? So you can also just ask a friend. And so
Yeah.
this segment is really about checking in with a friend and just tapping them on their shoulder and saying, hey, how would you handle this situation?
Yeah.
So that's what we do here
Yeah.
in this final segment.
And we're your friends in this segment, I guess.
Asking
For
for
a
a friend.
Cue the music. I almost missed my cue.
You still got there, baby.
Those panic eyes, I was like, oh, hold on. I can do this.
Ooh.
I can do this. Okay, so this lovely listener submitted a wonderful asking for a friend question. And this lovely listener says, asking for a friend, my friends always want to go out to dinner, but I'm a little broke right now. Oh, capitalism, see? I don't want to miss out on hanging out, but also I need to save money. I also don't want to just hang out in my apartment. What would you do? Ooh, that's tricky.
That is tricky, especially
tricky one.
especially because eating out is so expensive these days, don't you think?
Oh my God, yes.
Like that's so relatable. It's so what a dilemma. I guess my answer is sometimes you go and sometimes you don't.
yeah.
And if maybe like your friends do that often, it may mean having a conversation and saying like, hey, can we cook in tonight? Or hey,
Yeah.
can we order in tonight?
yeah.
If that's cheaper.
I
Sometimes
feel like
that's-
it's not.
Sometimes that's a lot more expensive too.
Oh my God, after you get the delivery charge and the tip,
Yeah.
you're like, okay, I'm just going to go walk.
Yeah.
I'll go walk to get my Chipotle.
Yeah, seriously. What would you do?
I think I would do something similar.
Yeah.
I think I would maybe make the suggestion of depending or not if you can cook or not. I would say like cook instead, like host a dinner. It's actually really, I think you could do cheap and cheerful meals that are
Yeah.
much cheaper, feed a lot of people. And it also could be a lot of fun, you know, just to kind of like wine and dine with your friends. And you can make like a theme. Like you
Yeah.
can do like a fun thing.
A cute party.
Yeah. Well, here in Canada right now, it's winter. Canada, so it's not very fun to go out. So
No.
you know, you could do a Hawaiian night or a medieval night or
Oh my God. Halloween in
and-
January.
Halloween in January night. You know, like you can be stupid, get some friends together.
You know what I've done a few times, and I
What?
feel like this is actually like driven by a financial thing. It's not just purely social, but I've also said like, you know what, I'll meet you guys after.
Oh yeah, or you could say like, you know, if you're meeting for dinner at 7,
Yeah, I'll come
meet
for
you-
dessert.
I'll meet you at 8,
Yep.
and then I'll just come for a drink.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'll come for dessert. I'll come for a drink.
Yeah.
Or if you guys are going out later, let me know.
yeah, yeah. That's great. That's great because that way you can still participate in the
Yeah.
socialness of it.
Because I do think that is the core dilemma there, right? There's obviously the financial piece, but there's also the like, I want to be involved, or I still want to see my friends, but like
Yeah.
I don't want to have to see my friends if there's this really big price tag.
Yeah,
So
and it's not about the money. Just bring it back to
we just want to
2000
make
and
the world dance.
the world go round.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jesse J. Anyways, if you like what you heard,
And I hope you did.
and if you like what you saw,
And I hope you didn't.
make sure you like, subscribe, send us a rating, send us a comment. We like hearing from you, and we're just so happy to be here, and we're so happy that you're here too as well.
Yay. Okay, well, Happy New Year. Be well. And we wish you well on those goals.
Yeah. And
Guess what?
What?
If you didn't set a goal, that's all right too.
That's okay. That's
Yeah.
okay. And maybe your goal this year is submitting to asking for a friend, which you can do. And it's so easy. Just go down to the show notes and you can just click the little link. It's anonymous. and you can submit your quandary, your query, your secret, your anything, just anything. Other than that, we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
This isn't therapy.
Bye, Miranda.
Bye, stars.
Bye.